We're Gary and Marie Cotterill, and born and raised here. Marie was born in
West
County.
Independence,
Yeah.
Montgomery.
She
I
come
don't
off
go
of a
very
small
far.
farming operation, whereas I was raised in town.
Yeah.
And we have 3 children. Paul, the veterinarian, been in practice about 25 years, lives here in Cherryville area, lives on the ranch, but his clinic is here in Cherryville, North Edge. And then we have a son and a daughter who are twins, and the son works here full-time on the ranch. He and his wife live a mile north, and then the daughter is she's a registered nurse, K-State grad, and she ends up taking care of their 2 children while her husband works every day with Navico. They live in Owasso, Oklahoma. And we have three grandchildren. Tyler is 16, and he lives here on the ranch. He's Paul and Rhonda's son. And then we have 2 in Owasso, and they are boy and girl. And really, all 3 are good students, and we're very proud of them. My dad was an electronics man, and so he never did farm or ranch. And he said, that's a good vocation to follow, and if you're interested, I'll train you. And I said, man, I want to stay away from that electricity. So I'm the first generation to farm or ranch. My grandfather had a small operation, as they would in those days. When he come from Sweden, well, he settled up in the Lindsborg area, central Kansas, a lot of Swedes up there.
Yeah.
And he spent probably the first part of his manhood life, adult life, there in Lebec area, in Lindsborg area, McPherson. And so he seen I always liked it, so he always come down here and coached me a little bit. And so we're the first generation here. We have been here on this ranch 51 years. So time flies. There's 1,630 acres that is contiguous except for a county road maybe that separates it. There's 1,630, and it is all grass now, grass or hay. We put up about 400 bale hay a year. What our goal is, though, is to walk it off instead of baling it, haul it off, haul it back. What we've done is, number one, is took a survey of the land to see what terraces we might need or waterways. First start with waterways. First year we was here, we seen water come across the road up here east quarter mile, 6 inches deep, washing topsoil. And I told Maria, we've got to change that if it's the last thing we do. So we hustled into that and got the waterway built right away. And then we went to terraces within a year, so that solved that. And we farmed a little, but our equipment, I quickly realized our farming equipment was too outdated, too small, so we went to grass, and it worked out better for my job. I was a banker for almost 40 years. So that has had a real bearing on things because we grassed everything as it become available. And everything's in permanent grass now. Fescue, Lespedeza, Bermuda, have a lot of Bermuda. So we've got cool season, warm season, and some Lespedeza and clovers that provide a little bit of N to the soil. So that's really what we do and we're on, one important thing that we always try to do is cell grades. We have approximately 24 cells, from 40 acres up to about 80 to 100. And so that makes it real good. We just keep rotating across those. They do real well. It gives the grass a chance to rest. Plus it gives the cows fresh grass all the time. Keeps the parasitic problem at a minimum. Helps to do that. Well, what we did is as we acquired the property, originally this was 200 acres. It's grown to where it's at today. And therefore, what we've done when we acquired it, we looked at the conservation needs and tried to match those needs as quickly as possible to save topsoil. So we got all the topsoil really tied down with grazing, cell grazing, and the grass. and so have very little, if any, mulch,
Okay.
topsoil.
And how many acres of fence you said you've put in?
About 10 miles.
About 10 miles.
Bull Rada here in town did it. He does probably the best fencing job that I know. Campbell Soup Barn,
Yeah,
Mm-hmm,
how that occurred?
yeah. Let's.
yeah.
Well,
Did you read about that?
I covered it.
Yeah, my
Yeah.
golly, yeah. That was because Sam Atherton was the national what?
FFA president.
FFA, yeah. So that we got in on that.
What year was that? That was.
Would have been
It was
about-
March the 9th in 2009. You'd have thought it'd been too cold to paint,
Yeah.
but it worked out great.
Rob asked me to outline my military career. I was about to be drafted in 1962, and I ended up enlisting and served on active duty for a period of time. Ended up coming out as a private first class, promoted later to a specialist. And before I went into OCS, Officer Candidate School, I applied and was granted a position in the class. I was promoted to buck sergeant. Served for 2 years in OCS and come out and was commissioned a second lieutenant. And then about 9 months later, promoted to first lieutenant. By that time, the Vietnam War was roaring, moving pretty fast. So I served as a captain for about 3 years and was promoted to major, and was served in that for 5 or 6 years, and ended up retiring as a lieutenant colonel in U.S. Army. I was glad that I served. I was the first in my family, but I'm thankful I had the opportunity to serve my nation.